Now, I know this may seem like kind of a harsh statement. Let's be honest, some doctors suck.
What the? Oh shit.
But in all professions, there are people that just suck. Sometimes you get a bad haircut. Sometimes your mechanic doesn't fix your car. Sometimes you have a bad dental experience. I'm sure you've been to a restaurant where the food or the service was terrible.
That is fucking disgusting.
And just like these situations, sometimes having a doctor that's not good just sucks. Hey, my name's Dr. Travis Owens. I'm a sports medicine doctor and a CrossFit coach. And today we're gonna talk about when it's time for you to fire your doctor and find a new one. Now let's get something out of the way really quick. I hate talking about myself, but just so I can give you guys a point of reference of where I'm coming from, I've been in practice for 12 years. I've seen over 10,000 cases, not just visits, but full cases from beginning to end. Of those 10,000 plus cases, over 90% of people were fully resolved, and the average time frame it took to get them there was less than 4 visits. And this is not just an opinion. I track data on every single case that I've ever treated, and these are outcomes that are reported by the patient, not by me. All of this data is analyzed by a company called Milliman, which is the top data analytics company for healthcare in the world. So this is not just my opinion. This is, again, just facts. Additionally, I work with a group of other healthcare providers and teach continuing education multiple times throughout the year so that other doctors and healthcare providers can maintain their licensure with the mandatory continuing education credit that all of us are required to have every year. So though I may not have every answer for every question, I've got a pretty good idea of how to do this healthcare thing. There is one thing that I really stress to all healthcare providers that I work with, and that is the difference between a good doctor, a great doctor, and the best doctor. Simply put, a good doctor knows what they're capable of helping. A great doctor knows what they're not able to help. And the best doctors are able to recognize the difference between these two and be honest with their patients right off the bat. There's a reason why healthcare is called being in practice and not doing healthcare. And it's because while we're in clinic every day with every case that we treat, our goal is to learn and practice our craft to become better at it throughout a lifetime. School teaches us a ton of things, but honestly, there's no way to learn it all. The biggest thing that school teaches us is how to learn and how to research and come up with answers to things that we may not have answers to immediately. Now, that being said, that still unfortunately does not create the best environment for patients when they come to the clinic. And again, some doctors just suck. However, there are reasons why oftentimes an experience that a patient may have in clinic may not be exactly what they're looking for. Behind the scenes, there are a lot of things that insurance companies do that affect the quality of patient care. Year after year, insurance companies are consistently trying to lower the reimbursements that they pay to doctors' offices for the services that they render to patients. Because of this, most doctors' offices take one approach, and that is, how do I get more patients in the office to offset the lower reimbursements? If the insurance companies are paying us less, we need to see more people. When that happens, quality of care drops dramatically. And that's why oftentimes you'll go to your doctor's office, sit in the lobby for an hour or two, and get 5 minutes of FaceTime.
It's been 84 years.
Then after your visit, most doctor's offices will then have an employee that submits claims to the insurance company and then tries to recoup the money that the insurance is supposed to pay on your behalf. Even though the insurance companies tell the clinics how much they're going to pay, usually they don't. And then that person has to then work back and forth with the insurance company to try to get them to actually pay the doctor's office what they said they would pay in the first place. On your side, you're busy paying your premium, also working towards your deductible, then you're maxed out of pocket, you have co-pays, co-insurances. If your doctor's in network, not in network, there's a reason why in healthcare we call this playing the insurance game. Because of this, you're starting to see more and more doctors move towards a concierge model. In the concierge model, doctors will have a set amount of patients that they have in their roster, so to say. Oftentimes it's 500 or 1,000, 1,500, depending on how many doctors are in the clinic. Each patient will pay a monthly fee to be a member of that practice, and they'll have more access to the doctor to hopefully get more quality care. On the back end, the doctors are submitting to the insurance companies, or not, And whatever the insurance companies reimburse, they're willing to accept without having to fight back and forth. So to offset the money that they would lose, they make up for that with the monthly membership fee that the patients are paying. And yes, this does provide higher quality care for most people, and it increases the quality of life for the doctor, which is extremely important. You want a provider that is enjoying what they're doing versus somebody that's going in seeing 60 people a day just to cover the bills. So now that you have a little bit more insight as to why oftentimes your experience at the doctor's office may not be great, you still have a choice to make, and it's completely up to you. There's nowhere that handcuffs you to a provider. You have the rights to find the doctor that fits your needs and your desires just as much as anything else. Believe it or not, as a patient, you only want to know 4 things. Yes, only 4 things. You may not realize you only want to know 4 things, but you really only want to know 4 things. And if a doctor can answer those 4 things, typically you're going to have a really, really good experience.
God, give me the answer!
The 4 questions you want every healthcare provider to be able to answer are: do you know what's wrong with me? Can you fix it? How long is it going to take? And how much is it going to cost? I know it seems too simple, right? But honestly, think about it. If you went to a doctor's office with something wrong, those are the only 4 things you want to know. If you go to a doctor's office and they're not able to answer any of those, you're probably going to leave pissed off. Now, let's say you have a situation where that doctor can't fix you. That doesn't necessarily make them a bad doctor, but if they recognize that this is something that's outside of their scope of practice, they should be able to provide you with a specialist or another provider and get you to that person quickly. Again, this goes back to the best doctors. So the next time you go in to see your doctor, have these 4 things in mind. And when you leave the appointment, ask yourself, did my doctor or my healthcare provider answer these 4 questions for me? If not, it may be time to move on to a new provider. Now, where can you find a new provider? Now, the easiest place to start is 1, if you have insurance, get onto your insurance website and find providers that are in network with your insurance. From there, simply Google their names, read the reviews about the doctor, get onto Facebook groups in the community and see if people have recommended or not recommended this specific provider. Second is to ask friends and family. Just like any other service that somebody may be looking for, you oftentimes will have friends and family that have a great provider of that service, and all you have to do is ask. Additionally, there are other resources online where you can actually look up doctors in your area and then kind of work backwards. Instead of starting with your insurance carrier and looking for a directory there, you can search for highly ranked doctors in your area and then get a list of providers that seem appealing to you. Then go to your insurance and make sure that they're in network. Regardless of what steps you take, you should never have a bad experience in a doctor's office and feel like you have no other choices. And if despite all of your efforts, you still can't find a good provider in your area, reach out to me and I'm happy to help with some of the footwork to find you a provider that you would be happy and confident with, that you're getting the best care for you. I have nothing against any healthcare provider. All of us take a Hippocratic oath to first do no harm. And if you're in a situation where you feel like you're not getting adequate care, then you deserve to find a doctor that will give you what you're looking for. Hopefully this gives you some insight into why you may not be having the best experience at your current doctor's office and some resources of how to find a better doctor. If you found this video helpful, hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. It truly does help the channel to grow and impact more people in a positive way. Thanks for joining me, and we'll catch you on the next one. Don't stick with a doctor.